is the dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call the twilight.
I got love for you, no lie. I give my best, I try. Someday we'll touch the sky. You're an angel, look up, baby. Wipe all your tears away. I know it's been crazy, but keep your head up high.
Foot chase through the projects, dodging foreign objects. Street knowledge, I should've went to college. Odds stacked against me, surviving off instinct. 3 blocks from the precinct. Lil' homie caught a case, others lost family members. Product of his environment, projects produce violence in the middle of the streets, cause that's how we eat. Just I rap about the trap don't mean I ain't about peace.
We must stand together, all together.
For life-saving care at hospitals regardless of a person's immigration status. This comes as a coalition of immigrant rights groups.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. I am Kiana.
Yo, what's happening, man? It's King Jab. How y'all doing this morning?
And yes, we're brought to you by the New Image Project, better known as See That, because we are redefining what's cool, because smart is the new gangster, baby. And if you didn't know, now you know. Yes, so you can see what we doing.
So you can see, so the people can see if your camera right there. So yeah, thank you, brother.
Yeah, we got a special guest. So we got a couple of special guests coming in. So Nigel, right? Najee. We got Najee in the building, and then we'll have Pastor Sykes or Bishop Sykes calling in a little bit later.
Okay.
We're gonna talk about the federal freeze.
Oh yeah, that went down last night, right while we were asleep.
Oh yeah.
A lot of stuff happened while we in our bed, y'all. Y'all pay attention.
Hey, listen.
Hey man.
And so y'all know it's Freestyle Friday, so you know how we do it. Good morning, Tiffany. How you doing today, Jab? Jab came in like Superman, a Batman.
Man. So you would think that, right? But I had to get up and cook my grandbaby breakfast in the morning because
my best friend.
Like, yeah, she like grits and eggs.
I know, my best friend.
Tyrant. Running my household was 50-year-old grandparents, man.
But that's right. You supposed to be 50-year-old grandparents.
I know, but I don't need to be. And my son just congratulations to my son Alex. He just passed his test and he will be going to the Army. Yeah. And he got the job he wanted, so that was the whole reason. We would have been wanting to go to the military, but you know, you're gonna do the job that you want to do.
Okay, so did he have to like go back and take the ASVAB again? So
did that already. For very high on the ASVAB, so he's going into cybersecurity.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
You see where I'm at with it.
I see. I ain't mad at it. But yeah, no, you know my best friend.
So that means we're gonna be babying for a little minute.
Well, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
What's up with y'all, man? What's up? We got the guests first.
We do. So go ahead, introduce yourself.
It's your boy Najee. You know what I'm saying? Just the Haitian prince out here coming to do my thing.
Najee, you a musician, right? I presume.
Oh yeah. They gotta look me up by the whole name, Najee Joseph. They gotta put the last name. Haitian, we go by the whole name.
I can be. I got
Najee Joseph.
Yeah. How long you been doing music, bro?
I've been, like most people would say, all their life. I really have. I've been since I could like. I used to perform in front of my family, or like almost like they used to tell me, sing that song. So, You know, I've been doing it.
Okay, I remember that.
Professionally, I've been doing this for about like 10 years, where I'm like been really taking it serious, because I'm like, you know, if it's really that, let me go ahead and see what is that, and it's been that ever since. So I've been doing my thing for about 10 years now.
Okay, so you sing and rap.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I like that already.
I know you can hear like in his voice.
I'll tell you what, no offense, I've been slowing down a lot on the rapping just because the energy right now. You know, it's like rap just ain't been the same. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I just been going back into more of my culture, leaning back into what I really know, and I've been feeling honestly way more comfortable in it.
Okay.
That's why my ladies
feel good music.
You gonna see that feel.
Okay,
that, that ladies move music, yeah.
Okay, so listen, I'm a manager as well, right? So my daughter is a singer. Now, are you one of them artists I can put on the spot and be like, sing something real quick, or you got to be like, hold on, it's not the type of morning.
My thing is this, right? You ain't gonna catch me out here doing like on no Jenny Wine hitting no Mariah Carey notes. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, if it's in you, it's in you. So I just do my thing. Whatever the beat's called for, I just do it. So that's why people would say that I be singing or whatever. But I mean, I guess you could say Rod Wave be singing, right? But that's just what it is for me. So it's like I'm just not afraid to like hit a note or
you confident
or do whatever it is, right? So I let it be on the track. So people call it singing, so you know, call it that. But I'm just giving it what it is. But
He's trying to get you to freestyle, bro. Don't follow me. Trying to get you out there. What you got any current projects? What you working on right now, man? Like
I'm telling you right now, it's that song Roll Up is what's hitting the streets right now. That's what I've been really working on and focusing on. So I don't want to divert myself too much. I got them tracks out there. So when people look me up, they're gonna see my catalog. You know what I mean? But right now I'm really focusing on my latest hit, Roll Up. It's the crowd favorite. So I'm gonna give people what they want, you know. Okay. So right now, Roll Up is what's really been hitting the streets hard.
So what really got you, like you said you've been singing and performing all your life. What made you want to take it serious 10 years ago?
Honestly, it's just family. I'm not gonna lie. It's like I grew up in like a big family, so it was just always a lot of events, a lot of music. So I was always the guy that you could see who took control of the playlist. And until this day, you go on my Bluetooth, I got so many. People always say, man, you got so many, because I'm the guy playing the music. So it goes deep and everywhere. I can hear it, I sense it, I feel it. Everything. Like, the music is everything to me. So when I started having my own family, you know what I mean, and started having my own kids, and you want your kids to live their dream. You know, you want your kids to really do what they really want to do out here, not just go to work. So even though I steady go to work, but I wanted to live my dream also and make it and express my full self. You can't take it with you. I mean, it's just the reality of this whole life, though. So as you grow up and you get more real with it, you realize you can't take none of it with you. So I have to leave it all on the floor if I want to ask the same for my children.
Now, if you had like somebody that gives you inspiration or that you look up to, who would it be?
Man, Bob Marley all the way.
Okay.
Bob Marley all the way. Bob Marley was one of my biggest inspiration for music. It's just because of exactly that. Like, he touched you. You know, music is spiritual. You know, you can get deep in it if you want to, right? The vibration, the waves, you know. So Bob Marley can really change lives, can change souls out here. And that's what I really want to do, honestly. You want to express yourself in a way where you can change lives. So let's say somebody's in a bad mood, you can change their mood and put it up. That's why I kind of said earlier, I started shifting my energy from maybe rapping so much to making more feel-good music, because I started to realize, what do I want to leave behind? Going back to what I'm saying, what do you really want to do and leave behind? And that's what I want to do. I want to make people feel good. You know what I'm saying? If you're down, I want to make you dance. I want to make you laugh.
Okay, so I want to ask you a few questions. What type of... See, I'm a former artist myself. Like, how do you work in the studio? Because, see, I believe that it's three visions. It's the producer's vision, the artist's vision, and the person that mixes the song at the end. It's three different visions that make a song. And I know some people try to, I want to produce the beat, then I want to sing on it. Man, I can mix it too. And I feel like you take it away from the visions. How do you work, bro?
Exactly. I think what you just said is one of the number one dynamics. Now, again, everybody's different, right? People may work differently. But what you just described is how I work. Like, I believe in that. I believe, like, it gets spiritual. For me, music is like a trinity. I'm telling you, people really, like, right now, which I think is part of our culture. You know, like, we're so strong and we can do everything. We're so strong and we are so great. We have a lot of talents. We have a lot of shades of things that we can do. But because of that, it leads us to take on too many projects and to try to do everything. And I'll tell you right now, the people who are the most successful are the people who know how to diverse responsibility. Right? So I'm like, look, I know I could write this track. I come up with a hook. I can just lean back and let my mind flow. I could do this, right? But of course, if I sit there and bug it out all day and I'm clicking things all day, I can learn how to make beats, but then it's like it's gonna take away from what I really know I'm the best at. So that's why when I linked up with Nitro, you know, rest in peace to him. That's why it was one of the biggest pieces of my music. Like you're gonna hear it in my music, and it's him also. So like you said, when you hear my music, yeah, it's not just me, right? It's my producer getting his skills in it, right? It's him after that going into mixing it and to make it all sound like harmonious. So yeah, you ain't never gonna catch me out here like my chest out as if I'm out here. It's all me. Nah, it's not. It's my team.
That's why I asked you how you work, because I know
I work with my team. I work with the group. I work in combination. I got, you know, that's how I get my best art out of me, is when I have people around me. Because like I say, it's all for the love. It's all for family. It's all for the culture.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, do you have any upcoming shows?
Yeah, I got an upcoming show. Matter of fact, I'm gonna be out like what? I think like July 25th, right? We're gonna be out there. We're gonna be out there at Bons Amis. You know what I'm saying? Come check me out at Bons Amis restaurant out there. We're gonna be out there on the 25th.
What is that?
Yeah, that's in Tampa. I think I got the address on my phone or something.
Okay.
But yeah, we're gonna be out there in Tampa on the 25th. Ooh, let me see that thing right there.
All right.
Yeah, it's on Fowler. Yeah, on 1525 East Fowler in Tampa, man. Bons Amis restaurant and lounge. July 25th. Now you're gonna be hitting the stage. Y'all come check this out. We're gonna be out there, and I'm gonna be hitting the I think it was the 7th, the 7-on-7 festival that's coming up too. We're gonna be on that too, so I'll be on the lookout for that since September.
Okay, so you all right. Now, if there was an artist that you wanted to work with, who would it be?
Artist that I want to work with. That's a good question. Now, okay, is it about how big or small? Or, I mean, how we talking about right now?
It don't matter. Who you want to work with?
I want to work with, man. Let me tell you, I want to work with an Afrobeat with artists right now, with either Wizkid or Burna Boy. No lie.
I can hear that sounding.
Me too.
Right now. I'm like, oh,
work with Wizkid or Burna Boy right now. Because like I said, I'm just been leading way more to my culture. Like I said, my mother's African, my father's Haitian. You know? So at the end of the day, I grew up in Haiti. You know, I didn't come out here till I was like 15. So I really was deep in essence into Haiti. That's why I went to school. That's why I learned everything from. You know, I had to learn English. You know, even though I didn't accent too much.
Oh no, you here? You know,
that's good though. That
so you speak Creole?
Oh, I won't Creole. So
okay.
Je parle français. Si tu comprends ça.
Bonjour. I speak a little French, not Creole, but you know.
Trust me, if you have to go to school in Haiti, you better learn that French, because that teacher's not gonna be letting you speak Creole. I'm telling you, it's crazy out there. Like when you learn in school, the teacher, you speaking French only. Sometimes most households you can only speak French in because they want to make sure that you have that, you know, that thing down.
Even when I was in school, they were like, you got to take Spanish. I'm like, no, I want to take French. That's the most universal language. Why the heck y'all teach people Spanish?
Well said.
I took French too. That's why I wanted to be different, because you know here they always do Spanish. They push Spanish, but yeah, French is where.
Yeah, you find yourself in the deepest corners of the world. You're speaking French.
That's gonna get you out of trouble.
I'm going to Canada, and you know they speak French in Canada. Cheyenne got a show in Canada. They're doing the R&B fest.
Okay.
So yeah, we're gonna be.
I met some Canadians when I was in Italy. These two old ladies were so nice. Like we ain't had no euros. They literally gave us like 200 euros. Like they were like, just catch us when we on the boat. I'm like, what? Man? I want to go to Canada. These people are so nice.
No, Canadians are very sweet for the majority part. So where can the people find your music at?
Man, my music is on all platforms. You know, we got our things set up. We don't care about our paperwork. So my music is on all platforms. You can find it on Spotify, on Apple Music, you know, YouTube, anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Even when you're making your posts on Facebook or TikTok, whatever, you know, you could go ahead and use my music also for your posts, all that. So you can find my music everywhere.
Okay, what's the name?
My name, Najee Joseph.
That's how it pulls up on.
You put in Najee, N-A-G as in golf, E-E. And you put that Joseph.
Najee with a G, y'all, not with a J.
Not with a J, because That's shout out to him. You know what I'm saying? He's a hardcore saxophone player. I was actually named after him, so shout out to him. But yeah, so if you start putting in that joke, I'm gonna pop up. Yeah, that's what it is.
So if you had to leave the people with anything, what would you leave them with?
Man, I'm gonna leave them with this: stay authentic. All right, stay authentic. Like I said, you can't take it with you. I don't really care what you got going on. You can't take it with you. Stay authentic. Stand up for something or fall for anything. Me, people who mess with me are either gonna like me or they gonna hate me. It's one or the other because you're gonna get all of me. All of it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I'll regulate. Don't get it wrong. But at the crash out here. But at the end of the day, I regulate. But you're just gonna get the real. So I stay to the people. Be authentic. Stay authentic. Leave it all on the floor. You can't take it with you.
All right, Najee Joseph.
Man, I appreciate you coming.
You heard it. You heard it here at the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club.
And that's Najee with a G, y'all.
Yes.
Y'all gonna have to spin that track. Y'all got that track on the deck.
No, we don't have to. But you know what? We'll get it and we'll spin it like during our break.
We more talk radio, so we'll push it to the DJ. We got DJs that do
this. The track, I'm telling you, he's gonna bump with it. Like I said, roll up. Najee Joseph, we out here. You know what I'm saying? Come check me out. I'm out here.
All right.
Show, man. Sir.
So yeah, listen. This weekend,
what's happening this weekend?
I'm trying to think because
this weekend is going to be crazy because Lakewood Junior Spartans start their season against Tampa PVP. It's the only game in Pinellas County. And it's going to be crazy because you know Lakewood
and St. Pete kind of merged.
So, hey, y'all, us adults, the kids gonna do their thing. All we gotta do is act like we got some
so
since
you said that because like I'm not in the little league world no more.
Grandkids, you know me. I'm trying to get granddad of the year, y'all. But go ahead.
I'm not in the little league world anymore. Like, you know, it was a little bit of controversy with St. Pete and everything that came out. Can we take it back to PYFC days?
No.
Oh, okay.
Because listen, I think that, and me and Brother John had a talk about this. We had a talk about this. I think that more so and we're gonna line this up. It's more so okay, St. Pete had an issue.
Yeah.
Okay. While we dwelling on the issue, it's more okay how we will all help.
Yeah.
Because I feel like even if they didn't have a season this year, the resources need to be pooled to make sure they're good for next year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's not like it's not a finger pointing situation. It's time to rebuild and really just make sure that they got a great avenue. You know what I mean? And let's clean up some of the trash out the road so they can drive down the road.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so easy to point fingers at the past, right? To say what somebody did or didn't do and all this other stuff. It's hard out there.
Hold on, stop. It's very easy to point fingers when you ain't doing nothing.
Okay, I was finna go there too. Okay.
You ain't doing nothing that's good. It's easy. So even when Brother John put the post, what's the problem with St. Pete? Look,
I saw that. Said Brother John did it.
Parent participation.
You got
one group of maybe 20 to 30 adults that's dealing with hundreds of kids who are all born by two parents. So we got 30 people that's trying to appease the 300 kids. All these kids are born by two people.
So if you got, you're right. So if you got 300 kids, you got 600 parents that you're trying to like accommodate.
People trying to do everything.
And then on top of that, a lot of the 30 people do not have children out there. They're doing it out the goodness of their heart.
High school right now, this is the same thing. Like the numbers is the numbers. As you talk about what happened with Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah.
The numbers are the number. We're suiting up 140 players. 20 parent volunteers.
Yeah.
The other 5 is pretty much our family, and we don't even have kids out there no more.
Right.
So it's like pure. It's parent, like, don't point fingers at these people until you ask them what help they need. Because us as like our parents, man, like we're not involved in this. Like And I can tell you really, I seen it and I pinpointed it when I see how they fundraise now. Because it bothers me that our kids are on the corner asking for donations or in front of stores, because that's not how we used to fundraise. So me being me, I stepped to the little girl dance coach, gave to, hey man, why y'all doing this? What you thinking? He the one broke it down to me. He said, because ain't none of their parents go come out here and help me do that.
Right. But you know what, Lily, but you want me to tell you, Lily is very expensive. No, it is very expensive. So my aunt put her grandkids in there, and she had to spend like over $1,000.
I don't know why, not Lily.
Yeah, it is. You gotta pay your registration, then you gotta buy a uniform.
You buy a little. See that? Well, I don't know what league they went to, but when you pay that registration, they give them 2-3 uniforms.
Yeah, but this is on the cheerleading side, not necessarily.
Cheerleading is crazy.
This is on the cheerleading side, so I'm on the cheerleading.
Crazy, well, cheerleading.
So I mean,
more than football.
It does. So I mean, I don't. Can we all just get along?
So let's do it. So let's do some numbers.
Okay.
Little league is expensive.
Yes, it is.
But high school is even more expensive. And the difference is when we get to high school, we're not telling the parents, hey, y'all got to pay $250 registration fee for your kid to come play here.
But because the Pinellas County School, because it's in the school system.
But yet and still, every Thursday and Friday, this is what Teddy Bridgewater was saying. I got to feed 80 kids before they go play football.
Yeah.
This finna cost me between $12 and $18 a head.
Easily. And that's what, but because it end up coming out of the parents' pocket because you have your teen parents. Sometimes,
if you don't have a good board,
right?
It come out of a coach's pocket,
right?
Or you'll have a group of people like us that will form a board and grind out the concession stand and parking and make sure that the program is good,
right?
And that's something that we've done. I think that kind of equates to the success with Lakewood because we got a great relationship with the staff. Like, yeah, even like sometimes we bounce deals off each other. Like, hey, y'all account can't handle this. We might have to pay for the bus,
right,
to go to Miami. You know what I mean? Or hey, we got this food. We'll send the invoice to the school. They pay for it. So it go back and forth, but it still comes to parent participation. But we had 100 parents just asking businesses to donate or buy advertisement from the school.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have these problems. Next topic.
You say next.
Next topic.
Next topic. But so we're gonna Pastor Sykes should be calling in soon. And we're gonna be talking about the federal freeze that they did, that happened. And I don't know that much about it, so I'm gonna wait on him to call. And then we also have Caprice Edmond coming in on Monday.
Okay.
School board admin to sit and talk about this. This is crazy though.
Well, as I stated when I was on Here's the Voice, you get what you vote for, right? So that's if you voted or not. What things are happening to affect you. And people don't want to be involved in the process of choosing who runs the country or just be involved in the process or whatever. But when it affect them, now we're screaming bloody murder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's too late for that. You know what I mean? It's too late. And hey, listen, y'all realize all this stuff that used to happen?
Yeah.
It's only technically been 6 months.
Yeah.
In office January 20th. Another 3.5, y'all.
Yeah, we do. We definitely do.
So strap up, man. We'll be all right.
We will.
We've been all right. That's the thing about it. It's we have to dig into what we know as a culture, and like my boy said, man, we have to really realize who we is.
We've true.
Been all right. We've been facing adversity and struggle, so we can actually sit back and watch other people go through it right now.
Right. Now, I will tell you, so Pinellas County School is hosting a community forum on Thursday, July 24th at 6 p.m. at the administration building. All right. Hold on. Bing. Hello, caller. Introduce yourself.
Hey, this is Bishop Manuel Sykes, a pastor of Bethel Community Baptist Church.
Hello, Pastor Sykes. How are you? Well, Bishop Sykes.
I'm doing okay. How you all doing this morning?
Pretty good. We were just talking about you calling in, so you could go ahead and jump in with what you were going to talk about this freeze.
Yes. Well, what we can see in this whole freeze issue is an extension of what Trump is doing in terms of eliminating the Department of Education on the national level. And it also goes in conjunction to what DeSantis is doing. They understand that if the money is just donated, let's say given to the state, which at this point is frozen, they are able to defund to a large extent programs that are in the public schools that benefit the poor. Everything that Trump is doing is designed to impact Black, Latino, and poor students. He knows that the preponderance of those students are in public schools. And so this is just another ongoing assault. The thing is that what he knows is that critical thinking skills and having children stay in school, not drop out, is the best way to defend the next generation against his ideologies. But if he can force the school system to minimize what it does for the children, along with redoing a curriculum that's pro-fascist or pro-Trump, he can then, just like Hitler, impact the thinking of the next generation of students and prepare them to accept whatever he wants them to believe. It's just another play out of Hitler's playbook. What he'll do is, like he does in so many other places, he leverages and intimidates in order to make people bend to his will, whether it be individuals or whether it be an entire school system. Just look at what he's doing to Harvard. You would never thought in a million years that he would be attacking Harvard and trying to take away their nonprofit status, all because they're not bending to his will.
So can I ask you a question, right? I'm kind of like this here. Even though it's his will, this bill just went through Senate. Like, so what is going on where the people that we're in our communities to vote for that are supposed to represent us, why are they sitting in the Senate chairs, either that be the Democratic or Republican, and pushing through bills that are actually just hurting our kids? Like, what is going on with this? Like, how? Like, because we all point the finger at Trump, but we have a full Senate. Like, we have a bunch of people that are supposed to be representing us as the citizens.
Well, think about it. When you have an advantage in the state house and Senate, as well as the national house and Senate, they have a certain agenda, and they vote totally along party lines. The next thing, though, is Trump has every one of them intimidated. The Democrats can fight. They can use their bully pulpits. They can do as much as possible to stop what's going on, but there's no way they can stop it because they can be outvoted along party lines. That's the nature of what has happened over the last, let's just say, 8-10 years since the midterm under Obama. Democrats stopped voting, and the way they should. They allowed these houses and senates to be Republican controlled, and the result is they can push anything through that they want to. They can push judges into seats that they're not qualified for. They literally can do whatever they want. But those like Senator Tillis that said, I'm just not going to run again unless they're willing to risk their seat, they're going to fall in line. And that's just on you think about it, the Supreme Court is stacked in Trump's favor. So even if someone take him all the way to the Supreme Court, he understands that the sooner he can get it to the Supreme Court, the sooner he can win. So what we're living with right now is a minority of Democratic Senate and representatives, and we're dealing with fear, even among those in the Republicans who know better. They've had town halls that have turned violent because, yes, they are not representing the will of the people. They're representing Trump and the MAGA influence in America. Every one of them are not MAGA oriented, and not every one of them, Republican or Democrats, agree with Project 2025. But if your seat is more important than your morals and your principles, then you'll fall in line. And God help them if Trump has something else on any of them, just like the Epstein files probably have something on him. These people play dirty, and public image is everything to many of them. That's why the education issue, that is not even at the top of his agenda, but he understands that if he can reduce the free lunches or eliminate them, if he can take certain independent thinking skills out of the curriculum, if he can increase the dropout rate, he's building a poor underclass that are basically indoctrinated to do what he wants or just get out of school altogether. So he has a long-term strategy, and the problem is he acts as though he's going to live forever. And that's not the case. But we have to hope that anybody that comes up after him, even if they are Republicans, won't be as dastardly and wicked. But that's what's happening. So the issue of holding back funds, they did the same thing to, I believe it was Columbia. He held up $400 million in research monies until the school did what he wanted, and then he released the money. So $9 million or 100, I think it's 130 billion across the state of Florida. That's leverage money. He's getting them to bend. And you even have national news networks that are bending over, firing reporters because he's suing them or because he says they need to be fired. And next thing you know, those persons are being canceled, released, suspended, and everything else. That's the kind of weight he's throwing around.
Okay, let me ask you a question, Bishop. Mm-hmm. Because in my mind, I'm thinking like, okay, well, how did we get here? And I'm the type of person like I've been vocal on this radio. Like I don't like Trump. Like I don't like the policies. I don't like what's going on. But I also don't like the other side because I feel like as the people, Trump was taken out of the seat, and the Democrats have 4 years, and in those 4 years, they did everything to allow this man to get back in position. And when I say they did everything to allow this man to get back in position, is they had the power, they had the resources. We were coming right out of COVID, and we voted a lot of these people in. I can speak directly to our black leadership, and in the midst of this, nothing was done. We can speak directly here to St. Petersburg. We put a lot of black leadership in position. And us as the black community, nothing has been done for us. So when it comes down to, hey, let's vote. Let's not get Trump in the office. Us, the people in the hood on the ground, we don't care because we don't care about y'all smiling faces no more. Y'all, our people that we vote in place, they come smile, take pictures, get elected. Now we can't get in contact with them no more. We can't get nothing done. So this is the things that happen to put this man in power. Like, we got to take blame. The Democratic Party got to take blame and then rebuild to go get this back because the people got him out of there. We gave the Democrats the seat. They had the House. They had the Senate. And they don't do what they're supposed to do. They say big things. We're going to do a George Floyd bill. But you don't do it.
Democrats,
and this man just does what he want to do.
The Democrats is the weakest party.
Exactly.
Okay, they're flat out weak. Here's why I mean that. You don't have to cuss, fuss, or do anything, but you do have to call a lie what it is. You can't polish it. Secondly, you have to combat it. See, a lot of the things that even what you're saying about what wasn't done, if you look at the statistics, things were done. But what happens is they were too weak to keep it before the people and to keep off the Republican assault. Think about it, if you will. For an entire 4 years, they were lying that the election was, they cheated in the election for 4 years and ultimately tried to overthrow the government. The same thing Hitler did. So, and then you get a Supreme Court that says, oh, he's immune for anything he does in office. Now, that's one thing that puts him in a strangely powerful position. But on the local level, let me explain. Everything that acts black, talks black, ain't black. Okay? We're talking about principles and values that are in line with all of the people who support you. What we've seen on a local level in our administration is that everything he has done has been to appease the rich and the whites. He has opened the doors for them to come in and do whatever they want to do. I'll give you an example, the Manhattan Casino. He would not put a roof on it or fix the air conditioning when there was a group of black entrepreneurs there. Now all of a sudden they got $1 million to do what's needed to be done. That's what you're dealing with. So we have to be on guard because yes, politicians will come, they'll smile in our face, they'll do all of that. And many of them will lie because they understand that while we have a lot of outrage, it doesn't last long. And like you say, people get discouraged. They begin to feel like, what's the use? Well, that's exactly what they want you to feel. Because then if you give up, they don't have to defeat you, you defeat yourself. As long as voting is the only route we have to shift the powers in our government, we got to use it. The other thing is referendums. Referendums can go a long ways to challenging and changing unjust bills and policies. We have to be willing to help with referendums that speak to what the people want rather than what the politicians are doing. In many cases, we can't get the signatures and the support to get those things through. Think about the marijuana amendment and others that have been on the ballot. Those are on there because referendums made them put them on the ballot, not because it was somehow their desire to do it, but there was enough of a groundswell among the people to do it. I spoke to a union, however, of white. Is a Democratic club. I can't even think of the name of it last Monday. And they asked me, they said, well, why is it that we can't get more black folk involved? And I told them, I said, there's a poem by a pastor during Hitler's time. And it says, first they came for the communists. I wasn't a communist, so I didn't say anything. They came for the socialists. I wasn't a socialist, so I didn't speak up. Then they came for the union. I wasn't a unionist, so I didn't speak up. Next, they came for the Jews. I wasn't a Jew. I didn't speak up. Lastly, they came for me, and there was no one to speak for me. What I've explained to them is they sat back as long as it did not impact them directly and waited. And now that things are at their front door, they want all of this support to be galvanized. And groups like black people are saying, I'm not going to help you because you didn't help me. Well, be that as it may.
I think it's more of we're saying we're not going to help you because when the last time we let you in our house, you did wrong by us.
True.
And then I will say what we have done is we have helped people. We've seen where we get behind people for their fight, and when it's time for our fight, it's not the same.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And those lessons, those issues are why more and more people are reluctant you know, because we're saying you didn't help us.
Yep.
What I'm saying, though, is that the overall impact, okay, let's just take, for instance, the LGBTQ community. If you are not aware that they are a very strong voting bloc, then you miss out on the means by which greater changes can be done. But if you are a person that has homophobia and all of those things, you'll say, well, the Lord don't want me to do this. The Lord say, well, the thing about it, God hates all sins. But what happens is when these things can keep people divided, but a house divided can't stand. So in the case of Democrats, though, black, whites, most of them are weak. And some of them, to be honest with you, are not democratic in their values. You know, you take our current administration in St. Petersburg. He was a Republican before he became a Democrat. So sometimes people will switch parties, not because they necessarily share a philosophy, because it's the way to win the seat. What you are doesn't fundamentally change. You just have more access to power. And what we're dealing with right now, and I hate to say this, but it appears to me that in America, the scales are only going to be balanced by a revolution. The people, and they'll, you know, Trump didn't win by a whole lot. That means you got 70+ million people who did not vote for him, and more of people who supported him are turning against him. Now, if they manage to twist and gerrymander the voting districts and to do all those things to retain power, eventually they're going to push too far. Because America was built on revolution from its very beginning. They left Europe to come to America to get away from the monarchy, to get away from religious persecution. That's in the DNA. One of the biggest problems, though, for us is that racism is also part of the DNA. And it was racism and lies that caused the Republicans to emerge. People that didn't care about statistics listened to the lies. And people who don't like black folk, when you convince everything that black people ever got was DEI oriented, then you can make a person look at the African American and say, yeah, he got a job because they hired him because he was black, you know, not because he was qualified. And in most cases, you'll find that that's absolutely false. Black people have had to have twice the amount of qualifications of whites, and it's been forever. But if you can be convinced that the people that don't look like you, that may have a few dollars or a position above you, somehow were unfairly put there, then you can cause that type of conflict. And so between the lies, between the racism, the homophobia, that's how the Republicans have been able to put their finger on the pulse of America. They understood that you can divide us along those fault lines, and they did just that. Do you think the Republicans don't have gay and lesbian people there?
I can add one more thing to your list, too, of how the Republicans gained the toehold on this. And I'm going to give you from our point of view. When we were in COVID, when we hit COVID and the Democrats gained control, there was a lot of programs that were ran. And what the Democratic leaders did was come to the people in the communities to run these programs because essentially everybody was scared because it was COVID. Everybody went in here behind their computer screen. So it was another form of trust to be created. But then these community members and community leaders and these advocates watched as these same leaders in our communities that we voted for, that came and smiled with us when we were doing mass, they came back and basically stole our IP or just did the programs and didn't want to use us. because they felt like we was the convicted felons or we didn't have the degrees. Like even right now, St. Petersburg is writing programs with data that we gave in COVID. They're still using COVID data. And I can speak from just a personal level, like even with me, I worked for CDAT. I worked for several nonprofits. I ran many of programs. I created many of programs. And I deal with things in this city right now where nonprofits lose funding just for dealing with me. Because the people at the city don't like how I talk or how I speak towards them or how I tell the truth or how the people feel. And it's kind of crazy. Like even this summer camp, I didn't even involve myself in any of the summer camps, and I had plenty of activities. And that's because I didn't want these people that work so hard to be retaliated against from people that's in our administration because they working with King Jab. And that's the position that we in. So now how does somebody that can really go on the ground and really garner some troops for you, y'all bash us, then think that we're going to come back and help y'all? And maybe I didn't be speaking for the real ones in the hood, because we got black people, we got we got school people, we got people, and then we got some just real ones, because that's the people I want to deal with, just the real ones. It don't matter what you is, only you real.
Well, yeah, what I'll say, even to that, I don't think that's a Democratic thing. I think that's a like personal thing, because all of them wasn't Democratic. You know, like just because like Pastor Sykes would say,
but they benefited from it.
They do. I mean,
they're sitting in positions right now where they're looking down and still not helping us.
Right.
Those people that were you were there with me. Those people that we were reporting to.
Yeah.
We ain't got to say no names, but all of them are sitting in positions right now. Am I right or wrong?
You're right.
And they should be helping the people. And this is where
keep this in mind.
Lost it at.
Keep this in mind. What you're saying is absolutely true, and here's why. We've had poverty pimps, okay, in our communities around the country. Now, what are poverty pimps? They are people who use the statistics of the poor to justify grants that they have no intention on changing those statistics, because if they do, they put themselves out of business. Now, it happens locally, but if you look all the way up to the top of the tree, you'll find that many of those organizations are serving larger white nonprofits. They're just getting a piece of the pie. Mm-hmm. But you've always been able. Let's take it just for an example. This whole thing up on 34th and around 22nd. This building that they have that's supposed to be for a Center for Health Equity. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That is controlled by yet another organization called Healthy St. Pete.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what you have is you got a name there that's supposed to mean that we're going to direct our resources and so forth to the African American community. It was a lie, because when you saw the lines for COVID testing and COVID shots, none but white people, and they had average 8 cars of police to protect them. So the Center for Health Equity is a front for a larger, predominantly white organization that simply is extracting money off the poor and the suffering. So that's how they take advantage of us. Now, when it comes to us, let's say, for instance, I have a nonprofit and I'm able to write a grant and get them to give money.
Mm-hmm.
Then what they will do is try to hold my feet to the fire to do their work. Okay. The problem in our community is this. When you're in a small city like St. Petersburg, the people know each other, and they don't grade these grants based upon merit. You're right. If I know somebody, if I like somebody, if I don't like somebody, they can sit back and lower the scores on your grant or raise them because of a personal issue. Now, what do we do about that?
Bishop, let me stop you right there. Right? Okay.
Well, we only got 3 minutes because we at the end.
Let's do this real quick. So I want to touch this and we're going to wrap it up. It's amazing that you said this, right? Because I was one of those guys that went in with Story 727 and we filed for one of these grants, right? And we didn't get approved for this grant, but we had a debriefing with the director, right? And during the debriefing, first of all, I was kind of like, it kind of pissed me off because you're debriefing us about the grant and you wasn't prepared. It seemed to me like when you open your files the first time you looked at the file. But for you to sit there and tell me that we didn't get approved because we didn't have any of your statistics in our presentation, and we specifically used your diagrams and graphs that you guys gave in our presentation, was just really it was like the final point for me, because that showed me exactly what you were saying. They're here to give the people who they want to give to. And I just feel like that whole situation is an incubator to steal our intellectual property right now. Because
I know we got to come to a close, but let me just say this. I encourage every young black lawyer that I know to prepare themselves at least a subspecialty in labor and civil rights law, because you got to take a page out of Trump's book. Sometimes you got to sue people to back them up. Once Trump sues people, then he has a greater chance in intimidating them. We have never taken any of us or these kind of people to court for discrimination. I guarantee you, when we start doing that, okay, if we can get some lawyers to help us do that, we'll make some change, at least on a local level. That's what Trump does. He sues everybody because he knows if he can throw enough crap on the wall, something might stick. We got to learn to take this stuff to court.
I can dig it.
And don't be afraid to do it.
Any final words, Bishop?
Final words is, don't let that $9 million be a distraction. Fight for it, speak up for it, but know that it's a distraction for something bigger. That's the way Trump operates, and he won't be satisfied until he does the Hitler move on our children's minds, which is to defund the education and only fund those schools and those nonprofit schools that will push his agenda.
There you go. Final thoughts?
Oh man, we gonna be all right. Let's get back to the roots. Let's show those that can't read it from a book or pass the test how to do it with their hands. And let's just get to it.
Right. I mean, be the change you want to be or see. Write down those 5 things. Stay focused. There are 3 vacancies on the Southside CRA. Please apply.
And Sister Hughes finna lose her shoes.
Right? Yeah. Shout up all around the room. This has been the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. I'm Kiana.
Hey man, it's King Child, man. Thank you for your listening here.
And we got Bishop Sykes on here. And so we are out.
Good morning. God bless.
God bless.